All right, so as every week at 11 o'clock on Friday, we are live from the incubator. This time it's the new incubator. Um, CRM Science is here at the incubator helping the incubees. Um, we mentor them. We help them build apps for the App Exchange as part of their incubation process. So this week we actually moved. We were at the Heroku building, and now we're at 123 Mission, floor 23. For those of you who've been to the developer user group here in the Bay Area, it's the adjacent space to that.
I was gonna say it's entirely different from the last time I was here. It's a different space. It's a different proximity in the city.
Yeah,
Same people, different space.
right. And but actually, even already, we kind of find out that it's a lot easier to talk to people at Salesforce instead of having calls, which is not as great. They're like, hey, why don't you come over?
Right.
And so that kind of facilitates really good conversation, I think.
Even just running into people on the streets, friends of the company on the Trailhead team, the Einstein team, seeing
Hmm.
them on your way here during the day, that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And as part of the festivities for the new space, we had two events. One was the developer user group actually for the Bay Area with Michael Machado from the Einstein team, the old MetaMind team, Einstein AI, and also Andy Fawcett was there. They had a good talk about Einstein, and then the next day we had a talk about our AI lab, which is our toolkit for using the Einstein.ai APIs. And the interesting thing is that at the old incubator we had very few Salesforce people come in, and just generally less people come into events. Here it's more convenient to people to just pop in, and we had like a really full house for the developer user group, and quite a lot of people for our more specific talk.
Hmm.
Yeah. So how did you feel about that talk?
I think the talk went well. It was interesting to see the audience that showed up for it. It was a nice attendance. The space is nice. If you've been in the Bay Area for the developer user group, same exact space. And I want to say the skill sets or the levels of interest and the reason for attending was across the board. Maybe you were on the technical side and you were interested in learning more about the ins and outs of the API, or you were really just casually interested in AI in general and how it's being used within the Salesforce ecosystem, starting to get exposure that way. So it was cool to see both sides of the equation there, whereas opposed if you go to a developer user group, it's more of a technical session. But here we had general interest and general interest in what we're doing with it, which was a nice way, a nice audience to showcase what we've been working with.
Right. And we've had a lot of conversations with the Einstein team, and they're um, developing new tools. There's the Salesforce Einstein. There's the builder that they're building, and hopefully will be there here soon. There's the Einstein AI APIs. There's data discovery. There's prediction IO. There's all these things that are kind of starting to bubble up, and I mean, so it's kind of exciting time for people who are excited about AI and excited about development.
Oh yeah. On that train of thought too, I think it's been really exciting for us because of the recent, end of June for the beta of the Einstein AI language endpoint. So
Hmm.
all that geeky, technical goodness that we wanted access to, the stuff that as we heard about Einstein and introducing artificial intelligence to Salesforce and business processes, the guts of what we wanted to get to, now we can get our hands on and start experimenting and playing with through the Einstein AI, the old MetaMind team. So specifically unstructured text,
Right.
being able to predict against that, whether you're looking for, there's really two avenues of it: intent, you're trying to do classifications and categorizations of labels, against unstructured text, and on the other side, sentiment, getting a feel or a temperature or a tone of the language used in there.
Right.
So it's very cool to be hands-on with it, being able to use it. A lot of good is going to come out of that, and I think talking with the Einstein team already, just understanding what's coming up down the road, and
Mhm.
the pilots that are going to get launched and expanding on language, but also on the other side, that vision, the image recognition, and the possibilities around that are absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
Use cases abound on both sides.
Right. Absolutely. And what we've done with AI Lab is kind of encapsulate the APIs and allow you to focus on the business logic for your unique business process. Um, so you don't have to code for the API, you just have to code for your business process. And I think that that's like the combination of AI, adding a tool like ours that kind of saves you from doing a lot of, the nitty gritty type work. Plus, I mean that kind of combines into the beginning of the process, right? The end of the prediction. With the prediction happen, that's when actually the business process starts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we found that we started working with that with our clients, and we found that there's so much more, right? When the prediction happens, you want to do something with that prediction, and you want it to automate it. You don't want to have a human kind of say, oh, this I figure the prediction tells me something and I want to do something with it. You want already assignments and tasks created and other processes started.
Yeah, I think a good thing to really point out is as we're saying Einstein AI, we're really just talking endpoints only. Access to it, setting up data sets and models, training those models to predict against.
Right.
There's no front end. It's going to be the same back end, nitty gritty details to start interacting with it, which kind of led to this genesis of the AI Lab accelerator to help us get to that point of let's get a prediction and then let's start working on the good fun stuff for the business, building
Right.
out those solutions.
And actually talking to the AI product team yesterday, they basically said they don't think that they're going to have a UI for that. They're going to concentrate on making the API better, the prediction better, the models better, and more models.
Right.
So there is really a place for a tool like ours, that kind of encapsulate the UI in a user-friendly way and allows even admins to, be data scientists.
Exactly. Let them spin cycles on what they're focused on and what they originally intended on doing. That back end structure with the API is spinning off a team to worry about a front end and making it very accessible, not their concern. That's why they're able to accelerate and get something, to us as nerds behind the scenes to do the development so rapidly.
Right. That's true, and they're nerds themselves too. So I mean, it's just two different types of nerds working together to create really good experience for you know for the less nerds of us.
It was a fun chat yesterday for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, this was a good first week here in the incubator. We're adjusting. There's more snacks, nice, tasty snacks. The space is about the same size. We do have that proximity that I think that will be, especially since this is the end of the incubator. Like we have 2 more months. Um, I think it gives us, it facilitates better conversations probably.
When you need that quicker turnaround time, that proximity to those resources
Right.
to have your questions answered now as opposed to compiling them, saving them, hoping for a meeting.
Right.
That tail end of the process, it's essential to be able to move quickly. So that's probably the biggest asset of the new space, I think.
Right. And actually next week, the part of the incubator is going to go on the road. This is the first time this has happened in this cohort, and so the incubator is going to have some presence at Midwest Dreaming.
Packing up the Airstream?
I don't know, probably not.
It's gonna be hard to fit everyone.
Yeah. The Airstream is going to fly out. Uh, the So I think that so Midwest Streaming is next week. It's Thursday, Friday. I think it's the 10th and 11th, and the incubator is actually going to have a kind of like a VIP kind of event on the evening of on the 9th. It's very exclusive. and it's an opportunity for some people in the Midwest area to be exposed to what is happening in the incubator,
Oh, yeah.
and some of the incubator companies that that are going to be there. So we're going to be there, and several other companies will be there, and meet the VIPs, and then we'll be there for the event itself, and looking forward to it. I'm going to go. You're not, but I haven't been. I heard a lot of good things about the event, and I'm looking forward to interacting um, with the ecosystem around that area of the country,
Hmm.
and also kind of promote the incubator as a whole. I think the incubator is kind of like kind of almost like a hidden gem in the Salesforce ecosystem. Not a lot of people hear about it. We try to do our best to get it out there, but you know, I think the more people that hear about it, the better. It actually provides opportunities for those of you who are entrepreneurial and have your own app companies or have ideas. And Salesforce needs those people, right? I mean, Salesforce needs entrepreneurs and people that want to build apps, people that want to build consultancies, and I think that's why the incubator exists.
Hmm. And this is just cohort 2. Do we know anything about cohort 3? And
So
anyone who's
yeah,
interested?
cohort three is actually going to start at Dreamforce this year, and it's going to be focused on it's industry focused. It's going to be financial services and commerce and healthcare.
Oh, very good.
The submission actually ended already, but they are actually choosing the companies for the cohort right now. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I think that the at Dreamforce, the incubator is going to be have presence at Dreamforce, like the Trailhead Zone, um, probably similar to what we've done at Trailhead X, and similar to what was done last year. So there probably will be Airstream there here in San Francisco, so it won't have to fly. And Yeah, so it's probably going to be a combination of both cohort two and cohort three,
Okay.
since it's on the seam.
Got it. Look forward to seeing what comes out of it, and we're going to know more about the results of cohort 2 by
Right.
then. So, very exciting time. Looking forward to Dreamforce already for yeah, that alone.
Yeah, and it's around the corner already. It's 3 or 4
Unbelievable.
months, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So I think that's it for today. Thanks for joining us again this week. We're here every week, two at 2 Pacific. Sorry, 2 Eastern on Fridays, 11 Pacific. We'll see you next week.
See
Bye.
you, everyone.